So this is our um project we did for our school. Um, and then so this is um all of us in the trash right there, what we picked up. And then on this side of the picture right here, this is our guest speaker, Mike. He was telling us about how um we we need to like pick up the trash and like be clean because it can hurt the animals and kill them as well. And even the plastic can hurt the animals and well the sea animals because it can cut them and kill them as well. So this is all of us.
Uh, this is example of Durango about trash. In the river, there's a lot of fishing lines because people fish, and a lot of animals are getting hurt because people are leaving fishing lines on trees, and there's also plastic around the grounds and big plastics, stuff like big animals like bears, deers, raccoons, and there's plastic like six-pack sodas, water bottles, and other things. And that's how we learned about their speaker.
Okay, so this is all of us from picking up the trash. As you can tell, there's all four of us. So yeah.
This is us picking up trash, and what it says is the trash that there is out, there is not the only thing you see. You also see clothes that humans we wear.
There are so many sea animals that died because of plastic and other trash that we leave everywhere. People learned how to wash their hands and forgot how to put things in the trash can end up in rivers.
The trash that we leave the streets fly our travels to rivers, which goes to other rivers and ends up in the ocean. And birds and fish, things that are food, they are normally eat, leaving their stomach fall off trash, and that's how they died.
The problem of people not caring about the environment and it's clear here because after using their gloves and masks that they discarding onto the ground and walking away with no importance. Like in this quote, it's it is disappointing to see so many people discarding their blue gloves onto the ground and driving off.
We should care more for animals in the sea because some of them are food or for humans like us, like Mexicans and other places eat fish and crabs and other sea creatures. But we are killing them by leaving trash all over the places just because we don't care and we are not responsible enough.
Throw your own trash away and not have it thrown on the ground because the raccoons and bears will come and get the trash out. And when the trash is dirty, we absorb the smell and it can cause damage into our lungs.
We need we need to pick up trash because all of us are getting hurt and animals, so we can just make an ads to make us feel the same way because we don't want there to die of trash around us because we don't or want our animals to be sick.
And that's all for our presentation for today. Do you guys have any questions about our presentation?
I'm wondering where you guys pick trash up at.
Can you repeat your question again, please?
Sure. I'm wondering where in Durango you went and picked up trash.
So we picked up trash behind our school because there's like a little trail right there where there's a lot of trash and river where the river is. There's a lot of trash, and then the people that are there, there's like a little area, like a house or a hotel there, and they probably like throw the trash or other people do it. So that's where we picked up our trash.
There is a question in the chat if you that just popped up.
Um. Actually, I think we do have an idea how to encourage people to pollute less, to like throw the trash away. Um, but um, the idea of how we can encourage people to pollute less is by like having by um by having them to be like responsible for their own trash, like not throw it on the ground or everywhere because it's just like hurting animals and stuff like that.
Thank you guys so much for presenting. So our second presentation is the importance of decreasing noise pollution. So if you could please introduce yourself and tell us about your project.
Hi, my name is Illyria Brunner, and I'm going to be talking to you about why it is so important to raise awareness about noise pollution and the effects that noise pollution has. So without further ado, let's get into it. What is noise pollution? Well, noise pollution is an invisible danger that cannot be seen, but its presence is nonetheless both on land and under the sea. Noise pollution is considered to be any unwanted disturbing sounds, and noises around you and other people and organisms. It affects the well-being and health of not only people, but also other living organisms under the sea and on land. Why does noise pollution awareness matter? Well, noise pollution's effects on people and welfare has recently been brought to the attention of WHO, the World Health Organization. Noise pollution has subtle effects, such as lack of sleep or having trouble concentrating. But it also has more permanent and dangerous effects, such as higher blood pressure, which can increase the risk of heart attacks or strokes. It can also cause permanent hearing loss when it comes to people. It affects the animal kingdom in such ways as alerting prey and predator to each other's whereabouts using echolocation when it comes to organisms that live in the sea. It throws off the balance there. It also interrupts mating patterns and increases hearing loss in animals, which is how they survive. So it reduces their life expectancy tremendously. How can we take first steps in reducing noise pollution? Well, so far, studies have not found a way to help reduce noise pollution on a global scale. But if you want to reduce your exposure to noise pollution, both in your day-to-day life and in home, there are simple steps you can take. You can install more carpeting in your house or vinyl or rugs. Placing furniture against walls, such as couches and beds, can help absorb unwanted sound. Keeping windows closed when not absolutely needing to be open will also help. Investing in thicker curtains or drapes instead of thin, lacy ones. And if you really want to go the extra mile, you can install foam paneling that will, in equilibrium rooms of your house, that will help reduce the impact noise has on your own home. If you live or work near a noisy environment, such as a fast-moving highway or freeway, or live in a constant construction area, and investing in a pair of well-made earplugs or noise-canceling headphones will well be worth it in the long run. It will help maintain your sleep pattern and prevent hearing loss in the future. Thank you.
If anyone has any questions, we are now open in a Q&A section.
I have a quick question. What made you decide to focus on noise pollution? That's not something that I would have thought of.
I love that question. Okay, so I know that when most people say the words pollution, noise is not really the first thing that comes into your head. It would either be changing temperatures or plastic in the ocean or blowing through the streets. But in fact, there are many other kinds of pollution that have long-lasting and harmful effects on our environment, which I feel people don't acknowledge enough. There are soil pollution, light pollution, and noise pollution, but noise pollution is not one often thought of. And I figured that it'd be so important to raise awareness of other pollutions because it's not just one problem we're facing today. So I want to bring a little bit more awareness to this topic. The largest sources of noise pollution is usually around construction sites or conjuncted intersections and also trains. And we have trains in Durango. So those can emit huge levels of noise pollution, even if they might not always sound loud. The pitch at which some trains operate can have serious effects on your hearing.
Illyria, did you do any research or have any thoughts on public transportation versus personal cars that people drive? Is there any difference in noise pollution?
Not generally. I conducted my own study so I could better understand the impacts of noise pollution. So I took 4 weeks. I did consistent readings on each Saturday every week for 4 weeks to see if there were any harmful levels of noise pollution in certain areas of Durango. And I found out, which actually kind of surprised me, that the areas in Durango are not above harmful levels of noise. And harmful levels would be anything above 80 to 85 decibels.
Are there any other questions? If that is all, then we're going to move on to our next presentation, which is Making Leadville Plastic Aware. And that is a 3-person project, and you guys now have the floor.
Thanks. So we have a Kahoot for our presentation, and I'm just going to pull that. I can't share my screen.
With the way Kahoot works, we can actually go to kahoot.com. Although
What?
I won't be able to see the questions. If you go to kahoot.com, you can just input the PIN for the game number.
Right now, that all participants should be able to share.
It says the host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Huh.
Yeah.
So maybe a compromise that we could do is you guys could ask the questions, and I know that you guys had answers for the different ones, and you could read those, and we could try and do it.
Do you want
as
to
a
try
more-
again? I just tried to change some of the settings.
Yeah.
It still won't let you share?
Yeah.
Could give them the pin and have the questions pop up on the screen, maybe?
Yeah, we could try to give you the pin and then change it where you see your
Right.
questions.
I wonder if it is your screen because Alexis said she could share hers and we just had a couple folks share theirs. So I wonder if there's something about your computer.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what's wrong with that. Yeah.
Game pins. Do we need
Yeah, we figured out a way to do it.
Okay,
We can.
let me know if I can help at all.
Okay, so just go to kahoot.it and you can type that in as your pin and you can choose your nickname.
mute the tab maybe? Mm.
Okay, is everybody in? Can you see my?
I think we are.
Okay, well, I'm going to start. Do you think is produced globally each year? So the correct answer was 300 million tons of plastic. So 300 million tons of plastic is produced globally each year. So we think is extremely important that we start fighting against climate change. Our project this year was to make Leadville our
I think you guys cut out.
Yeah, you guys cut out.
The correct answer is 9% of plastic recycled. We want all plastics to get recycled, but we see that there are no recycling bins around town and at most events. So with the money we get from the bag fee, we hope to install recycling bins around town and help the recycling program.
multiple select and double points. So which of the following can always be recycled?
Cardboard and glass can always be recycled. We know with COVID, it is confusing what can and cannot be put in the recycling bins and will actually be recycled. So we talked to our school about what can go in the recycling bins. Things that can always go in the recycling are cardboard, glass, paper, and aluminum.
Illyria's on fire. So double points. And how many plastic bags are produced globally each year? So the answer was 500 billion bags produced globally each year. So plastic bags are not recyclable. This is why they're such a big issue. People usually use a plastic bag for an average of 12 minutes. 12 minutes for 1,000 years on this planet that we are not so slowly destroying. Did you know if you stack all the plastic bags that we use globally in a year, the way they do at the grocery store, it'd be the same distance to the moon and halfway back? There's a lot of plastic in the world, so we decided to start off our plastic reduction journey with plastic bags. How long does it take plastic bags to decompose?
The correct answer is up to 1,000 years. We're trying to get the city council to install a bag fee. A lot of other counties have done this, so we thought Leadville should do it too. It would be 10 to 25 cents for every bag, and 10% of the bag fee money would go to the stores that implement it. The rest of the money would be used to help get more environmentally friendly things.
How many marine animals die from plastic each year?
A 100 million marine animals die from plastic each year. In Colorado, we don't have oceans, but we have rivers.
Are there any alternatives to plastic? So, the answer is true. As you probably already know, plastic is really bad for the environment, but likely there are many alternatives for us to use instead. Which of the following are reusable?
The correct reusable water bottles, bags, and other stuff are also a lot more stylish than the plastic ones.
Multiple select. And what can you do? So the answer was all of the above. There are organizations you can donate to. There's a search engine called Ecosia that gives 80% of its profits to planting trees around the world where they most need it. It is 100% free to use the search engine, and all it does is help the environment. So this was our project. We hope it made an impact, and remember to think before you grab a plastic water bottle. So in third place was Moreno. I think I said that right. Sorry. Illyria was in second. And first place was Miss Condon. Well, yeah. Does anybody have questions?
We actually only have time for like one question.
Okay.
If that's okay. So if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and ask those now.
I do. I was curious, where'd you get the idea to do your project through a Kahoot? I thought that was a really cool idea.
I don't know. I did a lot of Kahoots in 5th grade and I always found them fun. So I just thought it'd be a fun idea to have audience interact with us. And yeah.
Thank you guys so much for presenting. So our final project is environmentally conscious challenges. And if you could please introduce yourself and tell us about your project, that'd be great.
Okay, hi guys, my name's Rio. I'm from Animas High School. I'm a sophomore. And for my project, I really wanted to focus on getting the public to kind of think about the choices that they were making and how they impacted the environment. And I thought that the best way to kind of do that was to give them challenges because people really love challenges. So I'm going to present just the home screen of the website that I designed. Oh, I can't screen share. So if we can't fix that, I guess I'll just kind of
Rio, put your link in the chat and I'll share my screen.
Okay.
And then you just tell me what to do.
Yeah, I'm just going to show my home page because it goes over the information. I'm going to talk over it. So see if that works.
I think you're. Yeah, that's the link to just Wix.
Do you have a button that says view live site?
Yeah, I do. Sorry. It says that that's the link, but let me go somewhere different. Okay. Okay, I think I found it. Sorry. Okay. Here's a different one. Okay. So, sorry, my screen is not in the right layout. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I did was kind of work on creating weekly challenges and workshops that were going to help people to make more environmentally conscious decisions. So one that I have a great example of is creating a crocheted reusable bag out of plastic ones. And this is kind of what it looks like as a final project, if you can see that. But the way you do it is you just take a plastic bag and you kind of fold it up a bunch of times. And then you cut it up so it creates different strips. And then you can crochet those, which you just have to follow kind of a simple crochet tutorial. That's something that I already knew how to do, and you can crochet. This bag currently has like maybe 25 plastic bags inside of it. And it's a great way to reduce the amount of plastic bags in the environment. Some other examples of projects that we may have done were like donating to a thrift store or biking to work for a week, just really simple things that you can do to kind of limit the amount of carbon footprint that you have. So yeah, I kind of just worked on those, and unfortunately, the challenges didn't really go out to the public very well. I'm hoping to try to keep going with this and keep getting more people involved and interested. It's actually a lot more difficult than I thought to get people to pay attention. But yeah, that was kind of the hope. And I think I'm ready for questions, or we can scroll down and look at the, oh, you don't have to, It just kind of explains a little bit more what I was doing, but.
So I have a question. I also am very interested in talking to the, overall population about issues and stuff, and seeing how they can kind of email to people, or did you just kind of put it out there and say like, oh, we could go to this website if you want to learn anything about anything, or how was your like overall projection?
So what I kind of did was I created a Instagram account and I kind of posted on that, and I shared it on my public account so that people that I know would see it. And I had the link to the website, and I emailed a couple of people, but it kind of fell off towards the end. Towards the end of the project, it was less there's less momentum, but it seems that kind of the more teenage population that I am more connected to and more able to connect to is less interested in doing these challenges and less capable of doing these challenges than adults were. So it would take actually a lot more marketing work to get it to a population that might care a little bit more.
Rio, I'm wondering if you can speak to your journey with this project a little bit. How did you arrive at your website as a final product?
My project changed a lot of times while I was doing it and what it was going to turn into. And for a long time, I was going to create an app, and the app just didn't work. The software that I used kind of kicked me off and didn't save any of my work, which was annoying. So I decided that I would do a website, because at Animas High School, we are already like learning how to create websites for our digital portfolios. So it was something that I felt skilled in and used to, and I thought that it would be kind of an easy way to just get all of the information out to people.
I have a quick question. Is there somewhere on the website where you explain how to do the plastic bag crocheting, or is that not up yet?
I was going to have that. I was going to, but it didn't. So I did do it beforehand and I didn't save it to publish, but there is a video, so it should be up shortly. But
Awesome. I'll check back later. That's great.
a couple of the pages aren't completely finished. It wasn't totally a finished product, but I thought I would just share kind of the front page for you guys.